Okay, this is a test. This is a test to see how this software works. I'm hoping to eliminate popping. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with the mic. Just looking to get rid of popping. I'm gonna head over to YouTube and see if it is working. I'm new to this software. Oh, this might work. Let me see what the lag time is on this. See what lag time. Wow, very low lag. There's only about a 3-second lag on this. That's really nice. Awesome. Very nice. I think I'll have to. I love this. I love this. This is great. This is really great. This is going to be a lot better. Hope y'all are staying cool today. I'm going to play around with this app for a minute. We got a little pumpage in HEX today. Y'all notice that? Y'all notice we got some pump action? Steph from HEX Live. KNTX says it sounds like dog do. What sounds like dog do? Oh, sounds good. Okay. I'm hoping it's sounding good. But y'all saw back in June, Steph, he kind of predicted that we would be bottoming around 27. Now, whether it actually bottomed or not, that's another question. We'll have to see. But it seems like he's doing good. What's up, Brian Jones? What's up, Band Live Bear? I'm not trying to make a episode out of this, but welcome to StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard seems to be working better than whatever I was using. I don't know what I was using. I was using something else. Yeah, my camera lens is probably foggy. It's hot. I don't know how many of y'all are from the deep south, but it's borderline tropical. No doubt. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get a generator pretty soon. And I'm going to get a generator pretty soon because my girl is talking about coming, and she can't. I'm not going to subject her to this craziness that I deal with. I don't care. When it comes to myself, I don't care, but I'm not going to subject anybody else to it. So I'm going to get a generator system going because it's going to be a lot cheaper and a lot faster. Like I can spin up a generator and AC system probably in 3 or 4 hours. It wouldn't take a lot of time. But for me to do all that with solar, for me to expand my solar system enough to accommodate like a 500 watt AC system, it would take so much work. And it's mainly the mounting. Mounting solar panels is really there's a lot to it. There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of planning involved. Whereas with a generator, you just go set it somewhere, you plug it in, and you just put an AC unit in the window and you're done. And on top of that, I would be able to run a professional mic, a professional camera, full laptop system, all this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it looks like the price is doing really well. I'm gonna do a little bit of toggling around here. Okay, I just toggled my screen. I'm pulling up other screens just to see if there's any interruptions. I'm gonna bring up a price chart in the side window just to see if there's any interruptions. No, everything looks good. Man, this is good. I may have to end up paying for this. This is Hexologist. Hexologist recommended this to me. He was like, man, I tell you, he's a good guy. I'm telling you, he is such a good guy. He reached out to me today, trying to help me out with my stream. He reached out to me and gave me all these tips and pointers, and he told me to download this app, and it's working. It looks like this is working. I'm guessing that my audio is a lot better because I think this headset. I don't think it's like a El Cheapo bad headset. Like I think it's an okay model. So very nice that it's working. Very nice. The KNTX. Do we get to meet the lucky lady GT? I don't know. She's not local. I mean I just got back here. I was up in Baltimore for a while. It was a good thing that I came back though. But yeah, so she's still up in way out of town. I was up there with her. That's why I left the South. I was up there with her, and maybe she comes down here soon because we've been apart for about 3 or 4 months. So it's been a little bit. Man, look at this hex price. We're at 313 right now. This thing is just lifting off something. My prediction was that it's going to get to 0033 and then settle and come back down. I don't know if it's actually going to do that or not. We're going to have to see. Oh yeah, you in the Southern Hemisphere are y'all in the Southern Hemisphere have winter time right now, don't you? That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, it would be nice to get some fans. I just don't care that much. Like I don't mind being uncomfortable. It doesn't bother me at all. The only reason I'm going to make this place more comfortable is because I'm probably going to end up having a guest in the next little while. And I don't mind subjecting myself to whatever. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. But I don't subject other people to, to my lifestyle. That's for sure. I like it though. I feel like I get some health benefits from being hot all day. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad this mic is good. He says focus on. Greetings, Cookie Monster. Yeah, good texture. Good texture. Good texture. That's where the good texture comes from, is a Cookie Monster. I wonder if I can actually, man, if I could share my screen within this app, that would be amazing. I wonder if I can even do that. Layout. Yeah, if I can share my screen, that would be really cool. I don't know if I can. I'm on a phone. I mean, I'd be very surprised if I could even share my screen on this thing, being on a phone. I don't know what y'all even see. I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to do like, my girlfriend makes fun of me all the time because I've been programming for a really, really long time and I can run Linux servers with my eyes closed. But when it comes to this kind of mainstream consumer end device, I just don't care enough about it, and I haven't ever figured out how to work it. I just don't care to, because I know they're going to change it next month. I know the interface is going to change, so I'm just like, what's the point in putting all that effort in? Interesting. Yeah, well, maybe I can figure out eventually, but I mean, at least the mic is good. If the mic is not popping, then I've already won, and this will be awesome. Yeah. Why? There's 30 people in here on my test stream. That's something else. This is cool. I might buy it. If I have to pay for this, I'm just going to buy it because it's pretty sweet. Firebone is here for the test. Hey, y'all, I really enjoyed y'all's stream on Discord Syndicate last night. You and Steph. Man, that was cool. That was cool. Enjoyed that. It was a nice, wholesome, family-friendly stream. K and TX, we're waiting to hear something profound. I don't think I'm going to say anything profound right now. Unless the only time I ever say something profound is when somebody makes a comment that spurs me to say something profound. I don't really make up a whole lot of good stuff by myself. It's mainly y'all asking really cool questions is what gets this stuff going, you know? Like I can't overemphasize how much it's really the viewers that run this stuff. I mean, it's really y'all. What's up, Unhexable? What's going on? What's going on, my man? I have been looking a lot into, and this was, Annette sent me a message last night. She's been thinking about the OA and the role that the OA plays in the entire ecosystem. And this window being over here is terrible. This is terrible lighting. But she was talking about, yeah, this is a test, GR. She was talking about like, I know. So Johnny Chaos, I saw a video that he, something that he said on Discord Syndicate. He was talking about how the OA is not really staking anything. And Annette was telling me the same thing yesterday. They were both saying that the OA is just not staking that much. And wow, okay. They're just not staking that much. And that's good for us. That's really good for us because our percentage gain that we're going to be getting in interest payments is not being diluted. You know, if the OA all of a sudden comes in and decides it wants to stake 130 billion hex or whatever it is that it owns, you know, our interest payments are going to get diluted radically. And they're not doing that, which is really interesting. But we were kind of talking about theories about, you know, maybe the OA is going to come in and stake later. And, you know, Hexologist kind of came up with this theory a while back about, you know, what if the OA came in and staked a bunch of hex and then emergency instaked in order to distribute proceeds to everybody. And I was thinking about that, and I actually looked in the code yesterday, and that is possible, but they actually wouldn't lose their coins. So if the OA goes out and performs a big stake, let's say that they stake 1 billion coins, right? Let's say the OA goes out and stakes 1 billion coins, and they emergency in stake after a single day, and it was a 5555 stake. It was a maximum linked stake, which ensures that any early in stakes will cause a total loss. So in doing so, let's say that they made a 1 billion coin stake and then early in staked it, they're still going to get 500 million coins back in their own wallet. So it's like they'll be able to recycle it back to themselves. They can't give more than half of their stake to the community because it's actually hard coded that they receive half of the money back. So I thought that was interesting. If they wanted to give away all their money, they would have to do that repetitively over and over and over again, and cut their holdings in half every single day. So it would go, you know, from 1 billion to 500 billion to 250 to 125. You know, it would to 625. It would keep going. It would keep stepping down like that if they wanted to give away some of the money. Is that actually going to happen? I have no idea. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of hidden Easter eggs in this thing that could manifest themselves that we're not really we're not necessarily thinking about. That is a really, really big hidden factor that could, like the predictions that are coming out, you know, like, you know, 33% this year, 33 cents this year, something radical, I think, is going to come to propel it to heights like that. And it really only takes $45 million anyway. So it's not, someone, I see people at work that are watching me that are supposed to be at work. Maybe they're on their break. Maybe she's on her lunch break. Gifting you Hex says good stream. Man, I'm glad to hear it. I'm gonna have to adopt this new system without a window right here, by the way. Diluting the light. Yeah, GR, this is just a test. I'm not trying to say anything important right now. I'm going to go back and watch this in a minute and see if there's any edits I can make on the audio. Disable audio processing is important. Do not use this setting unless you have a high quality microphone and are wearing headphones. This setting disables audio processing. Often used. Okay, I'm going to now click the disable audio processing button. Okay, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, disable. Audio processing has been disabled. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, enabled. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, disabled. See if that does anything. I have no idea. It's off now. Audio processing is off now. I have no idea if it'll make any change whatsoever. Oh, she's driving. Okay. Don't type on your phone when you're driving, please. There's a big no-no. Do not ever text on your phone when you're driving. What's up, Metallic Elmo? Alan Bittner says, would you be happy with HEX if the price would not pump anymore? Isn't 80x from inflation good enough in 10 years? Would I be happy with HEX if it became a stable coin at 0.0033 cents? You know, if it was like 10 years into the project, yes. Being that we're only 6 or 7 months into the project, no, I wouldn't be happy with it if it became a stable coin at this point. Though I will be happy with it if it becomes a stable coin at, say, you know, a penny, at least a penny. I'm hoping, a penny, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. If it becomes a stable coin up in there somewhere, I would be okay with that. That would be fine with me. I don't think that it's good for it to become a stable coin at these sub penny prices, though. Just because it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about, oh, what's the price of HEX? Oh, well, it's 33 thousandths of a dollar. It's a lot easier if it's, how much is HEX? It's 10 cents. Oh, 10 cents? You mean I can get 10 coins for a dollar? Yeah. I think it'll be better when it gets up there. I wouldn't mind it becoming a stable coin up there. But it's up 50x from the very bottom. And I don't know if I'm going to be in the majority saying this, but I think it's extremely, and this is just my opinion, and I've always felt this way. I think it's rather disingenuous to say that HEX is up 50x. I think it's more honest, personally, to talk about the price of HEX since launch day. Because there's very few people that actually bought at the very bottom. There's very few people that are actually up, perfectly from the bottom. So I'm going to do a little test real quick in my other window just to see what from, well, my chart here only goes to December the 9th. So I don't even know what the price at launch date was. So I can't actually even make a valid comparison here because this Uniswap chart only goes to December 9th, and the price actually went live on December the 3rd. So I'm gonna have to do some investigation. Definitely gonna have to talk about I'm gonna have to investigate a little bit to see what the real ROI is. I don't think it's actually 50x, to be honest. Steph said you should not ever have to touch your mic. Yeah, I don't think I should be touching it. It's a good idea. Wait, does it sound bad now? Oh, switch the audio back to before? Okay. Audio processing is now enabled again. I've re-enabled audio processing. So let's see what that does. Hope that helps it again. Okay, so audio processing is now enabled. We'll see. I'm going to go back and rewatch this stream and see what's going on with it. Okay. I guess it went bad. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm hoping it works now. Is the sound back now? Can't hear. Oh man, I've destroyed my stream. I've destroyed my audio. I figured that was gonna happen. Wow. See, when you take something bad sound. Okay, I'm gonna kill this up. I'm gonna kill this up. I wonder if my sound is working now. I had to restart the app. Audio sounds fine, just kind of muffled. I've had audio problems since the very beginning, and it's because I'm on a cell phone. If I wasn't on a cell phone, this wouldn't be that difficult. Oh, now, okay, I'm being trolled. Okay, is everybody trolling me in the comments about if my audio is good or not? I trust Firebun is not trolling me. I really do. He is a straight edge guy, y'all. I'll tell you what. Firebun is one of the most straight edge. Just I trust him now. He said it's okay now. Okay, cool. Steph says it's okay. I know Steph is not trolling me. I know that they are giving me good feedback. What was I talking about? I was talking about something that was cool. Oh yeah. You should never have to touch your mic. Okay. Okay. I think my mic settings are back to normal now. I think. Yeah, audio processing is enabled, so I think it's good. Steph says, imagine if 50% of liquid hex burnt, the insane impact it would have on the price. Wow, wouldn't that be crazy? I don't think you can burn it though. I mean, I guess you can. I guess the OA could technically send it to there used to be in Bitcoin, there was a Bitcoin eater address. I guess you could do the same thing with hex. You could send it to just a trash address. You can burn it. I can't imagine Richard ever or whoever that owns the OA. I can't imagine any of them ever doing something like that. Gifting you Hex says, who talks about TUSD or USDC ROI? I do. I kind of like USD. I'm kind of upset, honestly, today about the gold price. I am not happy about gold going up. Gold just hit $1,800 today. I'm not happy about that. I want gold to stay as cheap as possible for as long as possible. Gold going up, that is, to me, that's the most alarming thing that can ever happen in finance. It's the price of gold to go up. Eschatar says price was BS the first day anyway. There's probably a big giant red candle on the first day, right? Oh, Firebone says that's when Uniswap started getting used. Uniswap didn't start getting used till the 9th? That's crazy. I wonder why it took 7 days to load the liquidity pool. Huh. That's interesting. 6 days. RH has commented that he thinks burning coins in general is bad. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Don't mess with the audio processing midstream. That's a bad idea. Let me scroll to the bottom, make sure my stuff's still working. Errol G says GT might get a mod soon. She's trying to fix my setup. She's attempting to. She will probably succeed because I'm not going to change it for myself. I would change it for her, but not me. Family Architect says, hey GT, I think you may have been a little rough on the flat earthers a couple of live streams ago. Rethinking our worldview is a very beneficial practice. Rethinking our universe model is very real. I don't think I'm hard on them. I think that it's very good to rethink your worldview. I think it's actually a beneficial thing to go to the Flat Earth website and check it out and see why their theories are wrong. I'm not hard on them because there are very blatant um, reasons why their model does not is it just does not compute, and they're spreading false knowledge, so they're ignorant. I think they're the type of people that need to be railed pretty hard. There's no reason to spread false knowledge, and a lot of people like myself that have a tremendous background in mathematics and physics and all these things. Um, Not everybody has that. Not everybody can look at the flat Earth model and determine, hey, such and such is why it is total garbage and is impossible in our world. Not everybody has the background to be able to figure that stuff out, and their arguments um, trick a lot of people. So I think it's worth talking pretty bad about their arguments. I don't think I ever attacked them personally. I hope I didn't. Sometimes I probably would, though. I don't know. I don't think they deserve much. Okay, there's everybody says it's all good now. Cool. I like that the lag on this seems to be really low. It seems to be very low lag. Well, Metallic Elmo, I'm actually behind on messages. So you said, yeah, I can read this message. Let me see. My best way to tell what the lag is I'll have StreamYard, or what am I on? Yeah, I'm on StreamYard in one pane, and then in the other pane I'll have YouTube, and then I can gauge the lag by that. That's the easiest way. Okay, so here we go. I'm on YouTube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-second lag. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I can deal with 7-second lag. What I was doing with that other app, y'all, we had like a 60-second lag. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. Gifting You Hex says it's about a 20-second delay. I think it may even be lower. I think it's about maybe 5 to 10 seconds. Errol G says GT might get a mod soon. Yeah, we're thinking about it. We're thinking about upgrades. Like when Moses says Leo. Yep. Far Out Alien says gold is going up because the dollar is going down. I do not believe that. Let me double check your claim. Do not believe the dollar is going down. Where is I have a hot, there we go. DXY, US dollar index. Whoa, I think I might have lost my stream. No, the dollar's not going down. It's at 97. Yeah, I don't know if I glitched out, but the dollar is at 97. The dollar's not going down. Not anything, not radically. It's not going down enough to warrant gold going to $1,800 an ounce. The dollar is not moving that much. It's just not. Ermif said, sounds so good. Now we can hear birds. Wow, that's awesome. Man, that is really good. That's really good. Cool. Yeah, I want to know why Hex wasn't listed on the first week on Uniswap. That's so strange to me. It seems like on like day 2. I don't know. Maybe Uniswap was really new. Unhexable says, what's alarming about gold going up? Genuinely interested. I've been getting into gold for the past couple months. It's alarming that gold is going up because that means you can't buy as much. So the more gold goes up, I mean, the likelihood of gold ever coming back to these levels is probably close to 0. I think it's a very high likelihood that once gold breaks $1,900 an ounce, as long as it can break through and not double top, it's probably never going to be below $2,000 again for the existence of your life, your children's life, or your grandchildren's life. None of them will probably ever see gold below $2,000 ever. So if you don't have gold, every day that goes by, that you don't own it, you're probably losing the opportunity to buy it. And to me, that's I mean, it's terrifying. I mean, that's terrifying. Steph says maybe the OA did not know about Uniswap until 6 days in. That's very maybe Uniswap was brand new back then. I wasn't privy to it. Alan Bittner says he's proud of using the AA for over 145 days from the beginning. Yes, I mean, if you got a, I guess that can be okay. You might be making a small donation. I think you might be able to get a little cheaper on Uniswap unless you're not buying much. Riddick says he's asking Steph, Staker app burning. Staker app burning. What is that? Staker app has a burn feature? I don't think that's true. I don't believe that. What's up, Hex Crow? Archie says Eric Dubé, History of Flat Earth is a good YouTube. Eric Dubé, I mean, I'm sorry, but he's not a smart individual. I wouldn't take any advice from him, and I wouldn't recommend his videos to anyone. Firebone says he does not suspect the OA will distribute coins because it adds more risk of dumping. You know, that's a really good point that Firebone brings up. So let's assume that the OA goes in and decides that it wants to give a bunch of charity to everyone as a reward for staking. That could trigger people, a select amount of people, to emergency in-stake their coins and immediately cash out, which would put a negative price pressure on the ecosystem as a whole. That's a really good point that Firegun brings up, and I think that would be detrimental for the ecosystem as a whole, because that would introduce sell pressure. You know, it's very possible that the OA is the strongest hand in all of HEX. If OA is the strongest hand in all of HEX that has ever existed, wouldn't you want them to hold as many coins as they could? I like that argument. I think that argument has a lot of merit. It has a lot of value, and it's a really good perspective. I hadn't thought about that until now. Because the OA gifting coins could increase sell pressure. Very possible. Very possible. I am wise says GT back again. Yeah, I'm just testing right now. I'm just talking because I can, I guess. Y'all are typing stuff, so I guess I'm talking. I'm not set up well though. Like, I'm not set up. I'm not supposed to have a window right here in the corner. It's a really bad design feature. It's not good. You want to have light like that. Ooh. Boy, we got a lot of comments here. Walter Parisio says the dollar is actually testing resistance. The DXY index, I suppose. Is it? Is it testing resistance? I'm curious, because dollar, in my opinion, is kind of an important trading vehicle. I don't know that it means a lot, because it's, the dollar index is an index that gauges against other fiat currencies. Is it? Yeah, I know Arrow G. This is just a test stream. I'm getting DMs saying that the light is screwing up the thing. Yeah, I know. What were we talking about? Oh, so the dollar index, I don't know that the dollar index is even really that valuable, because it's only a measurement against other fiat currencies. So, all of these fiat denominated currencies are being inflated. Is it really useful to gauge an inflating? Sorry, not if I said deflating, I meant inflating. If you're measuring a whole bunch of inflating currencies against each other, they're not really going to move a lot. That's why we're seeing the gold price go up, is because all of these currencies are inflating, and gold is not. And this is almost certainly going to have a positive price benefit on cryptocurrencies as well. When you see something like this with gold going to the moon like it is, it's very likely that you're going to see something similar happen with cryptos. And this is the year for it. This is 2020. We've already seen crazy stuff happen in 2020. I think the second half is going to be crazier than the first, to be quite honest. Like when Moses says international currencies are going down, dollar is staying stable to up. Exactly. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing as well with the DXY index. 97. I mean, that's pretty okay. Tony says, so sad that you feel that way about flat earthers, but I really like you, so you keep listening anyway. Well, Tony, if there was any possibility, like I'm all down with conspiracy theories, man. Like I'm the guy that's talking about the hollow titanium moon. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I talk about the hollow titanium moon is because there is a possibility that that could be true. It's not disprovable. It's not easily disprovable. The flat earth theory is so easily disprovable that it's like that anybody that has it, they're not worth having. The credibility is just shot. It's you cannot have a sunset with a flat earth. It's that simple. Firebone says not enough liquidity, maybe. Oh, 1 day. Okay. That man, Firebone is smart. See, he's got the answers, guys. 1 day for AA tokens to get minted too. So what Firebone is saying is that if on day 2 a liquidity pool were to be created, it might be really easy for some individual to thrash that pool. They might be able to thrash the price around in really crazy ways. If they like kind of like what's happening with that HXY Doom coin. Right now the liquidity pool in Uniswap is so low that anybody can thrash that coin. You could pump that coin right now probably to $1 million easily. It wouldn't take that much money. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know the math on that. Don't quote me on that. But you could dump it to 0 or you could pump it to $1 million a coin and it wouldn't be that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not doing the math. I'm just kind of giving a euphemism there. But anyway, the point is there probably wasn't enough liquidity in the first days to start a pool that wouldn't be able to get thrashed around. And that's why they didn't seed it, which makes a lot of sense. But now I want to go through and chart on top of the charts that already exist the exact price of the coin on days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, just to kind of get a little bit more data. I really like that. Hex Crow says you can buy Pax Gold. Yeah, yep, that's definitely an option. If you want to, I think that's probably an ERC20 token. But here's the thing, it's the opportunity cost. Let's be honest, in the next 2 months, do you think gold's going to go up more? Or do you think HEX is going to go up more? I don't think gold's going to go up as much as HEX in the next 2 months or the next 6 months. I really don't. So, Alan Bittner says, what do you compare the dollar to? We compare it to the other basket of currencies in the DXY index. I think it's the renminbi, the Chinese renminbi, the Japanese yen, the European euro. Is that a thing? European euro? What else is in there? I don't know. Those are the only 3 I can remember. Yeah, that's what they're compared to. That's what the DXY is. It's just a bunch of inflated coins. Metallic Elmo says he checked Richard's Twitter messages from the first week of HEX. There was no mention of price until the Uniswap listing. Yeah, that's the thing about the 50X claim is it's a cherry-picked claim. That's what I don't like about it. It's cherry-picked. You go through and you pick the most favorable point possible, and then you calculate the gain from that most favorable point. That's kind of deceptive. I don't like it, but that's just me. It seems deceptive. Oh, jeez. Backy says, trying to understand the Bitcoin standard narrative. couldn't it be argued that the gold standard never failed, but rather the failure being the US world going off of the gold standard into fiat? If so, how would a new world economy built on a Bitcoin standard protect the world from doing just the same and entering into another fiat-based system? First of all, we're not going to go to a Bitcoin standard because Bitcoin's too slow. But I see exactly what you're saying. Anytime you adopt a new currency system, even a sound currency system, you run the risk of repeating the same errors that we made in the past. The errors being um, the errors being you take real value and you replace it with paper promises, and then you distribute that out to everybody. And that's what happened in the United States. And that's yeah, I think that's absolutely possible. And I think that's actually probably happening in crypto right now. Probably the exchanges are fractionally reserved. They're probably just paper promises or digital promises in this case. I don't think there's going to be a Bitcoin standard though. And if Hex flips Bitcoin this year, it would not surprise me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. In fact, I actually, to a degree, I expect it. The only way that I think that that's not going to happen in the next few years is if somehow Bitcoin just pumps like crazy. Like let's assume, Iran says that their central bank has started stacking Bitcoins as as their reserve currency or something. Unless something crazy like that happens, where the Bitcoin price actually does pump to, $100,000 or $500,000, I don't see it remaining the king for much longer. Metallic Elmo says he doesn't have time for people actually thinking the Earth is flat. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your time. Errol G says they don't ever benefit from that theory either. There is no benefit to believing the Earth is flat unless you're selling books saying it. It's true. That's true, because you're certainly not going to be able to do anything productive with that knowledge. If you want to absorb flat Earth knowledge in order to benefit your life, and you are a guy that builds GPS navigation systems and launches satellites, you're not going to go very far in life. You're not going to launch very many satellites with the belief that the Earth is flat. There's no benefit to believing that way. None. None. Not going to happen. I'm glad I hope if y'all want to comment any more on my mic, I'm glad it's doing better. Metallic Elmo says, I think that the OA hex will turn out to be like the Satoshi or Satoshi stash and not move for years. I think the OA is already moving. I don't think that's correct. I'm pretty sure the OA stack has already moved significantly. It has been dispersed. It does not. I think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the OA moves. Riddick is addressing Steph, and he says Staker app, not in a fundamental way, is holding is the same as, I don't know what this means. Sometimes, our sentences are limited on YouTube. And that's one of the things I like about speech is we don't have to mince words and try and ultra compress our thoughts. When people are making YouTube comments or Twitter comments, they're working really hard to ultra compress their ideas, and it makes understanding really difficult. We run into that problem here sometimes. Conrad Rasa says, could you comment on the HEX ETH chart? I haven't even looked at the HEX ETH chart today or the last few days. Let's I wish I could share my chart with you. One day. It looks like I may end up getting a setup upgrade in the future. So if that happens, it'll be easy. Hex ETH, Uniswap. I'm going to check it on Uniswap V1. Firebun has graciously put both of them on his website here. Yeah, it looks like it's moving. It looks like it may have broken out of a falling wedge on the ETH chart. I'll look at it a little bit later to kind of, confirm or deny that. But yeah, maybe it's going through a bottom formation. Maybe it's bottomed out. I think it's too soon for a bottom. But I mean, like you look at the HEX ETH chart, if there was a falling wedge, it looks like it's broken out of that. So IMY says, do you have a time frame on a dollar collapse? I don't think 2022 looks good. I'm not going to say I'm worried, but I'm concerned about 2022 because I see HEX going astronomical in 2023. 2022, 2023 time zone, I see HEX um, going to the absolute moon. And there are some astrological arguments that can be made to say that 2022 is going to be a bad year for America. Um, I don't know. I don't know how strong those arguments are. I'm not going to argue that there's strong arguments, but there are some arguments to be made for 2022 being a rough year. Metallic Elmo says, so what device are you using for this stream? Video is pretty good. I'm using like a gaming phone. So it's kind of expensive too. I bought a phone that was made just for gaming, right? And the reason I did is because my former phone, the phone that I had before this one, I do a lot of drawing of charts and trading view and stuff on my phone. And like my phone will be glitching, like glitch, when I'm trying to draw charts on the phone. So I'm like, this is bad. I need something better than this. And so I'm like, well, what can I do? Well, gamers need really, really high responsiveness on their phone. It's actually a really nice phone that I have. It's really, it's an expensive phone. And charts are beautiful and it hasn't slowed down at all. Steph says the OA burning HEX would diminish a lot of the supply and increase confidence of not being dumped on. Much better impact than simply holding. Burning HEX would diminish supply and increase. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it would definitely reduce the amount of supply. It would make HEX more scarce, and then it would increase confidence. It would increase confidence of the holders. It would help them to believe that the OA wasn't going to come and just nuke Uniswap. You come in and just dump all the coins and dump it to zero. It's true. It's true. Joel Kalnin says if the OA is the strongest hand in HEX, then its stack would be the same as those coins staked and burned, and that those coins will not see the market and therefore limit supply. Even more so because if they never see the market, unlike staked coins, which will one day be reminted, they'll always actively decrease supply by those actions. I don't think I follow you. Let's see. I don't follow. It's too compressed. Archie says, check out Globe Busters. No, I don't want to check out the Globe Busters, man. Look, back in 2014, 2015, I probably spent like a week or 2 weeks doing absolutely nothing, 8 to 12 hours a day, but studying flat Earth. And I have no interest in it anymore. Because why? Sunsets don't work. None of these flat Earth people can ever show how a sunset works on a flat Earth model. It's impossible. Nobody wants to talk about that. Any of these flat Earth people in the chat, explain to me how a sunset works, because you can't. Don't even try. Please don't fill up the chat with it, because you can't explain how a sunset works. It's not possible. Don't even try. Metallic Elmo says, I don't see gold moving up as much as it has a $9 trillion market cap. Way harder to move around. Yeah, it does. It is harder to move around, but here's the thing. The amount of gold that is available in trading is very low. The float is low. Like imagine the Uniswap pool of gold is really low. There's not a lot of it. I don't know. Y'all saw a couple of weeks ago the ability to get gold from someplace like APMEX or JM Bullion or Provident Metals, any of these places, the ability to get gold was diminished. The amount of gold that they had available to sell was going down. it doesn't take that much to move the gold market, believe it or not. It's kind of like Hex has $1 million a day in volume, but it's worth almost $1 billion market cap. Gold is really similar to that. There's not a lot of float. There's just not. Oh, Joel Paletti says that the Swiss franc is also in the DXY index. That's interesting. I guess the Swiss were smart enough to not join the euro. Steph says that the OA staking would dilute interest significantly for all stakers. Not a good move. Yeah, that would be pretty rude, wouldn't it? It'd be very rude. I think it's a really good thing we haven't seen them stake yet. A very good thing. Archie says exchanges are just crypto banks. That is true. Some of these sentences I'm having a hard time understanding. It's just because I don't understand. IMY says, do you have a time frame on dollar collapse? I think I already read this. I don't think necessarily the dollar is going to collapse, but I think it might have some problems in 2022. Yeah, this back and forth between Steph and John, it's hard to decipher. Firebone says Mike is good. Awesome. Joey Paletti says, say 10 years down the line, what incentivizes someone to stake their HEX if the share price is so high compared to people still running stakes from pre-BPD? Because in 10 years, let's say the year is 2030 and you put in a 15-year stake to 2045, all of the stakes that were started pre-BPD will expire. So in the year 2045, you're not going to be competing with people that have a pre-big payday stake anymore. You're going to be competing with people who started a stake around the same time you did. Eventually stakes expire, and there's going to be plenty of, even let's say somebody in 2025, somebody puts out a 15-year stake that'll go to 2040. In 2035, all stakes that were started before big payday will be gone. They'll all be expired. So you will be on an even playing field, more or less, after 2035. It all levels out. You're not going to be competing with big payday share prices forever, because they're going to expire. And once they expire, you're going to be the big dog. If let's say you start a stake in 2025 and you start a 15-year stake, in 2040, you are the big dog. You are the whale with the massive amount of shares that nobody else has. The cascading decrease effect is always in play. That's why today it's 95 million, I think 95 million or 94 million shares per hex, because that number is going to drop for a long time. Maybe eventually that number becomes single digits or something. I don't know how many thousands of years that would take, but Steve. Yeah, the firmament is absolutely in the Bible, that there is a that there is a sphere of water surrounding the earth. That's definitely there. I think another really interesting thing in the Bible is the age limits of people. People used to live for 900, 800 years old, and I've seen the argument made that Neanderthals are not really any different from us. They simply live longer. That's why their eyebrow ridges are so massive. It's because they were 200 or 300 years old when they died. There's certain parts of the body like the nose and the ears and stuff like that, and the eyebrow ridges supposedly, that keep growing throughout your entire life. And that's why Neanderthals had such massive parts of their skull, is because they were living 200 or 300 years. I have no idea if that's true. I'm just reading what Christian apologists That's their argument. I don't know if it's true. It's just interesting to think about. The guy that invented GMOs, John C. Sanford, he has really interesting commentary on life um, lifespans. He believes that all organisms are in continual genetic degeneration, and that's why their life span is continually going down. He believes that in the ancient past, 6,000 years ago, according to him, the Earth is only 6,000 years old. But 6,000 years ago, that humans lived to be, 800, 900 years old. I don't think the Earth is 6,000 years old, though. I think there's probably some evidence. Oh man, let me turn this mic off. I think there's probably a good bit of evidence that supports the idea that the Earth is a lot older than 6,000 years old, for sure. That's the problem with the Christian scientists, is they're always very biased. They have really interesting ideas, very interesting ideas, but they're heavily biased in their interpretations. I should be more anonymous says the whole Bitcoin thing versus ETH is very interesting. HEX is a killer DApp. It could hold crazy amount of economic energy. Plus, it's going to be faster with roll-ups, plus DeFi. Yeah, Bitcoin doesn't do anything. It's really strange. It is secure, though. It is more secure, unless you consider the fact that China can shut down can cripple the network by shutting down all the miners. I don't know if it's actually more secure when you take that into consideration. When you take into consideration that most of the Bitcoin miners are actually in China, is Bitcoin really secure? Is all that hash power actually helping it? That's a tough question. Ermif says positive EMA crosses and entry into the Ikamoto cloud. Looking good. Look at Steph Staker here. She says, here we go. We got a new name. Unhexable says legality issues in the future make me nervous. What are you nervous about, Unhexable? Legality issues regarding what exactly? Hex? I don't know. Oh no. I've been infiltrated by flat earthers. Yep, GR says 2022 will be year of the tiger. Is that actually going to be negative for America that was founded in Year of the Monkey? I don't know, but I think it could be a year of change. I'm not convinced in the whole enemy thing that goes around on the internet, that such and such signs are enemies. I do think that, and I've come to this conclusion through watching actual real professional Chinese astrologers, that it is definitely a year of change. So if you are and to go further, I don't even know if Chinese astrology can apply to an entity as large as the United States itself. I don't know. It's hard to say. Metallic Elmo says, I'm more worried about European countries loaning endless amounts of money to struggling Euro countries that eventually never pay it back, like Greece, Portugal, and Italy. It's a black hole. Well, here's the thing, y'all. August 15th, 1971, the United States left the gold standard. And in the Jewish tradition, the Jews, they have every 7 years, they have, I think, what's called a sabbatical. I think it's or something, or 7 years is a sabbatical. I don't know what it is, but what I'm saying is that in the Jewish tradition, that after 7 sets of 7-year periods, after 49 years, they always had a jubilee. And a jubilee is where the debt gets wiped clean. All the debt goes away and everybody starts over again. Well, 49 years, according to the Jewish tradition, post August 15th, 1971 would be August 15th, 2021, right? Or, yeah, because we in this August, we will enter the 49th year. And after the 49th year is when the Jubilee is supposed to begin, according to the Jewish tradition. So there's the argument to be made, if you believe that the world is being controlled by a Zionist cult. You know, this is just theories, y'all. This is just theories. This is nothing set in stone. But if that is what's actually happening, there's an argument to be made that the debt jubilee will start in August of 2021. Is that going to happen? I don't know, guys. We just like thinking about stuff. This is not being pressed as fact. It is just something to think about. But if we do enter a debt jubilee period during 2021, that would lend a lot of significance to the idea that I see dollar problems in the year 2022, because that's what I'm seeing with HEX. I'm seeing that the price of HEX in 2022 and 2023 is going to go absolutely ballistic, and the only way that it's going to be able to go that ballistic is if there's a serious problem with the dollar, because you're talking about trillion-dollar market caps. I should be more anonymous, says GT has a razor. Yeah, it's got the snakes on the back of it. That's what it is. It's a snake phone. I should be more anonymous, says the EU currency is wrecked. Don't hold it. Yeah, good idea. Hold gold instead. Hold gold or crypto. Or keep your gold in a vault at least. The way things are going, it may not even be a good idea to hold more than small amounts of gold on your person or in your house. It might be better to put it in a vault. Maybe a couple of necklaces, but more than that, you might be putting yourself at risk. Trustless says the way OA unstaked percentage. I don't know what this means, y'all. Steph says Steph says the 1 hour test stream. Elbow cough. Yeah, I didn't even set my lighting up right. I promise I didn't plan on actually doing a real stream. I wasn't trying to. I just wanted to test it to make sure my mic was working. I promise. Y'all are just too much fun to talk to. Johnny Sachs says, GT, thoughts on the possibility of the OA sponsoring a subsequent big payday after launch phase ends, acting as a show of faith to later adopters? No, I don't think so, because Firebone made the really, really good point earlier about how an airdrop, which the OA could technically do, the OA could technically start an airdrop. If they do that, though, they are very likely going to introduce selling pressure. So Richard has already explained that he cannot wait for the big payday to be over, because that's when HEX really gets going. That's when all the craziness is over. And with him having talked about that he's ready for big payday to just be here already and be done and over with, I can't imagine anybody with access to the OA trying to start up a new big payday. Like, I don't buy it. Archie says, not sure if HEX will have problems legally. RH is smart enough to have his ducks in a row. Yeah, he's dotted his I's and crossed his T's. I mean, you'll notice in streams, if there's anything that goes into the realm of tearing up the affiliation or non-affiliation that HEX has with the Howey test, he stays away from it. He doesn't touch any of those topics with a 10-foot pole. He's extremely cognizant of what he's saying when it comes to that Howey test. I have not seen him I've seen him make mistakes regarding, not mistakes, but just kind of maybe small inabilities to process what he's thinking with regard to the HEX protocol itself. I've never seen him really goof up when it comes to anything to do with the Howey test. I have not seen him goof that up at all. And if he has, he quickly, if he spent one sentence, let's say he made a goof up about one sentence regarding the Howey test, he spent the next 10 sentences mopping it up, if that even happened at all, which I don't remember any specifics, but he's very, very good about that. Very good, astonishingly good. Metallic Elmo said satellites providing GPS data don't fly around a flat. Oh gosh, are we talking about flat Earth again? Come on, guys. No. Upkick says, did you see CMC CoinMarketCap made a DeFi page and omitted HEX? So surprised. Yeah, aren't we surprised that CZ Binance forgot to do that? GR says grilled some steaks today. Yeah, I actually ate 2 steaks before the stream, and some of it is still sitting here because I didn't eat all of it. I'll probably eat a little bit more of it after the stream, though. Metallic Ammo says, I also believe that there should be a difference between physical gold and paper gold, as people can trade paper gold without owning the actual physical thing. Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, that's one of the downsides about trading gold in general versus trading cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are superior in every single way to gold when it comes to actual accountability, and when it comes to actual monitoring of reserves, and when it comes to things like fractional reserve and trading contracts that are not actually backed by any physical metal. Crypto blows gold out of the water in every way when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, I guess the only real ideal solution is there isn't an ideal solution. I mean, even something like Pax Gold, does Pax Gold actually have the gold that they say they have? Really? I mean, maybe maybe if there's a third party service that is really reputable, they allow, the Federal Reserve doesn't allow their gold reserves in Fort Knox. Well, I say Federal Reserve. I think it's actually owned by the Treasury. The Treasury, I don't know who owns it, but I guess it's the Treasury. The Treasury doesn't allow anybody to audit the gold that's in Fort Knox, so nobody actually knows if it's there. Um, Something like Pax Gold, let's say Pax Gold starts becoming a big player, and they allow third-party auditors to come in at will without invitation to audit the gold reserves. If something like that happened, if somebody like Ron Paul could go and walk in to Pax Gold and audit the reserves himself and get one of those X-ray machines to make sure the bars aren't full of tungsten, and hell, maybe even drill a couple of them out if he wanted to. If something like that was allowed, then maybe, and it was based on a crypto, only if it was based on a transparent crypto. If something like that happened, maybe there would be future for gold to be accountable. But until something like that happens, the gold paper markets are just an abomination. It's worth a lot more than $2,000 an ounce. That's why it bothers me that the price is going up, because we've been gifted with a very precious opportunity here for the last 10 years to buy gold for cheap. And it seems probable that that opportunity is slipping away, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It seems like it's slipping away. That bothers me. Walter Aparicio says HEX is number one in DeFi, and CoinMarketCap will have to eventually come to terms with it. Will they? Maybe. Unless something comes in and flips CoinMarketCap. I don't know, though. There's a lot of stickiness with that CoinMarketCap name. They're like a top 500 website on the entire internet. I think CoinMarketCap is like the number 400 or 500 most visited site on the entire internet. Excuse me, sorry about that. It's hard to. I don't know. I guess you could be right. I'm trying to think of a situation in the past in which a coin was censored and then uncensored. I can't think of one, though. Escatar says Bidesk has the full HEX price history. It was the first exchange HEX was listed on. Interesting. Bidesk. Is that on TradingView? I doubt it. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Why do I keep getting the flat earthers in my chats here? Our chats, actually. This is our chat. Mainly y'all's chat, to be honest. Okay, flat earthers are despised because they're retarded. Look, man. They're retarded. I'm sorry. They're just retarded. Why? You notice none of these flat earthers want to say anything about the sunset? Not a single one of them. Prove a sunset. It can't be done. It's over. But you'll never see anybody respond to that very direct statement. Very direct statement. They won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Why? Because it blows their religion out of the water. Okay. Steph says, luckily, there are not that many flat earthers engineering boats, cars, planes, or the internet. We would be screwed. It's true. How many flat earthers do you know? Look, the only actual famous flat earthers that I know are like basketball players and you can actually be a really good basketball player and still believe that the earth is flat because your profession doesn't really uh it doesn't really require a good solid understanding of the universe. They just throw basketballs. So yeah, I don't know any engineers that are flat earthers because they'd be making pretty terrible products. Oh no, okay. Yeah. Whoa, where did my thing go? Where did my thing go? Okay, I'm scrolling up looking for y'all. I'm scrolling up looking for y'all. Sorry about this, guys. I lost my spot. Oh, I actually went back to Steph's comment. That was so funny. He says the 1 hour the 1 hour test stream. Elbow cough. Yeah, that was the 1 hour test stream, wasn't it? It's an hour and 10 minutes now. I like this app a lot better. This was Hexologist doing, and I'm liking it. This is a lot better, especially if my mic is working. And I think the lag is a lot less. Okay. Joel Paletti says, GT, good points. I guess whenever someone starts a 15-year stake, they will be a big dog. Yep, absolutely. Everybody at some point, if you start a 15-year stake, you are going to eventually be a big dog. It doesn't matter if you staked 1,000 coins. I mean, that 1,000 coins is gonna be something good in 15 years. No joke. Hexologist, what's up? Good texture. What's going on, Hexologist? Man, this is all you. This stream is all thanks to your recommendation here, and I think it's working better. So I can thank Hexologist for fixing this stream. I normally wouldn't put a window right here, but like I said, this was supposed to be just a test stream. Oh no, more flat Earth. Oh no. Metallic Elmo says, I guess me and Elmo are actually part of the Sesame Street. I'm the Cookie Monster, and Metallic Elmo is Elmo. I'm the metallic Cookie Monster, I guess. In 15 years, maybe people will not know or research the big payday. Yeah, it'll be totally irrelevant. It will be totally irrelevant. OA address, okay, the OA address will still be relevant, and the AA system. Okay, so you're partially right. All the concerns and controversy about it might be long gone. So you're partially right. So the big payday in 15 years, nobody will care. It won't matter. The adoption amplifier system in 15 years will have no relevance. It won't matter. The OA will still matter. Why? Because 50% of all penalties get siphoned into the OA. And I actually confirmed that yesterday. Annette was messaging me some questions and actually mainly comments about the OA and some predictions, some really good predictions that she had. And so I went into the code because it's not in the layman's guide. The OA is not really mentioned in any of, I think there's like at least 2 layman's guides, sort of. I mean, there's multiple guides that have been written that are pretty effective. And the OA is not mentioned in those. So I actually had to dig into Solidity itself, and it's there plain as day. The OA gets half of all the penalties. So in 15 years, whenever somebody emergency instakes, the OA is still going to get half those penalties, even in 15 years. That's still going to be going. It's still going to be going. So the OA is definitely going to maintain. It's definitely going to maintain relevance. Hextashi says if the AA ended today without the $500 million coming in, what would the price be tomorrow? If the adoption amplifier ended today without the $500 million coming in, what would be? Look, I'm not convinced that the $500 million that's coming in is actually even being sold that much. I mean, what's the point of going into the adoption amplifier to grab coins to then exit the adoption amplifier and sell it? Like, unless you're doing a small arbitrage, there's not really any point in doing that. So I don't think the price would, if the AA stopped right now, I don't think there would necessarily be that much of a price change. Now, from a technical standpoint, now would there be a price change based on emotion? Maybe, very possible. Hexo in the house, that's for sure. Batman is here. guess I'm Robin. If Hexo is Batman, somebody said I was Batman yesterday. I think Hexo's Batman though. He's like, you get the bat sign up in the sky and he just comes to the rescue and yeah, I think that's Hexo. I'll be Robin, I guess. I don't know. I think Robin's gay though. Isn't he gay? Isn't Robin gay? I guess it didn't matter if Robin's gay, but I don't know if I want to be, not that there's anything wrong with that. If people want to do that, that's fine. But that's just not me personally. Okay. I have a hard time understanding some of these comments. Just need to see how many of the shares. Yeah. AJ Create says, "What are your thoughts on simulation theory?" Yeah, if it seems credible. I mean, the way that stuff, like the way that astrology works, for astrology to actually have any real world significance at all, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Does that mean that simulation theory has credibility? Possibly. I think it's pretty obvious that somebody created this. I'm not a materialist. I'm not an atheist. It seems obvious that this was created by some type of higher intelligence, and maybe that higher intelligence was a computer programmer. Tony Faulkner says, "Are you a Bible guy?" I studied the Bible a tremendous amount. Whenever I'm doing my other live streams, and you can see the books behind me, a large number of those are, not a large number, but on that my bookshelf is actually about 3 times as long as what you normally see. But that little piece that you see, I would say about a quarter to a half of those books are all Christianity books. So I've done a lot of research into Christianity. John Calkins says, "I'm looking forward to the end of the adoption amplifier and the big payday, because at the end of all that extra complexity, the system will be much simpler to explain to newbies." I mean, you really don't even have to explain all that stuff to them if you don't want to. If you think that explaining the adoption amplifier and the big payday is hindering your ability to educate newbies about the system, just don't include it. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt them if you don't include it. Just tell them, buy it on Uniswap and be done with it. Archie said, "Some have called for a debt jubilee. They opted for infinite money printing and making everyone a slave." It's pretty obvious mathematically that the debt is absolutely unrepayable. And throughout all of human history, there have been debt jubilees over and over and over again. That's just what happens. Everybody says, "Well, it's time to start over." And everybody starts over. And that's it. I don't think that's going to change. Just like I don't think gold is going to stop being valuable. Just because we're in the technological age, gold is going to maintain value. Just because we're in the technological age, debt jubilees, they're probably still going to happen. The debt is unrepayable. I'd say it's unrepayable. It's unrepayable unless you want to really tick off the people that own the debt. You can mint $1 trillion platinum coin and just start handing them out at a barbecue, and yeah, you can pay off the debt doing that. But that might start a war. So, but then that brings the question: okay, if handing out platinum coins starts a war, why would a debt jubilee not start a war? I mean, can you imagine? China owns $1 trillion worth of U.S. bonds, and the United States government says, "Well, China, sorry, you're done. No, we're not paying you back ever." Could that start a war? Maybe. I don't really know. Good question. Hexologist said, "StreamYard sounds awesome." Man, I appreciate your seating me with this platform, this software platform. That was all you're doing, my friend. I appreciate that. I appreciate you letting me know about it, because I don't like having a really jacked up sounding voice, especially when I have a decent microphone. I think it wasn't that cheap. I bought it at a truck stop. There's really nice truck stops, and the truckers are. This is actually a trucker headset, and it's a nice one. It's for truckers. Metallic Elmo says, "I commented on something about IOTA on Twitter, and now all the IOTA zombies are coming out of their coffins, explaining IOTA to me. I wish I didn't say anything. Well, I guess they've still got their drive in them. I guess that's something. Didn't they shut their network down for a while? Don't they have like a non 100% uptime? Look, if somebody's trying to shill you stellar lumens, if they're trying to shill you IOTA, just say, look, bro, I do not affiliate myself with projects that do not have a 100% uptime. It's that simple. If it doesn't have 100% uptime, I'm not interested. This is 2020. We've had 11 years to work out the bugs in crypto. If you're still introducing projects that don't have 100% uptime, you done got wrecked. That's all you got to tell them. They'll leave you alone. It's very simple. HEX, by the way, has 100% uptime. Unhexable says, I guess I worry that the US might ban crypto. People don't like to see other people win. If we are printing crypto, we are printing money. I worry the haters will use that against us. Am I underthinking it? There's two sides to that story. I mean, yeah, Jim Rogers brings up that exact same point. Jim Rogers, he's an old associate of George Soros, and for that reason, I believe that probably a lot of what Jim Rogers says is a psyop. He was telling people not to buy gold back at 1050 when I was telling my friends back in those days it was the bottom. And I still get text messages from my friends from when I told them in 2015 to buy gold. I told them back in 2015, I said, look, guys, y'all been trying to get gold. It's the bottom. You better buy it. And I have a very long history of making really good price calls. I told my friends in 2000, back when I was broke, I didn't have any money back in 2008. I was still 20 years old. But I told all my friends, and I was watching stock market charts back then. I was back in the stock market, not in the stock market, but studying it. And back in those days, there was a company called ARM Holdings. And I found ARM Holdings extremely interesting at $2 because there was a product called the Apple iPhone that was taking off, and it was about to take off, and people were very excited about it. And ARM Holdings was the only manufacturer of the processor that went inside these Apple iPhones. And I told my buddy, I didn't give a ton of price calls back then, but this was one that I gave, and I told him, I said, you got to buy ARM-H here at $2. That was back in 2008. I wonder what ARM-H is today. It probably has split several times, so it may not. Well, I can't even check it. Yeah, I can't even check it. I'm going to see ARM. I want to see what the ARM price is. I can't get another window. Like, I'm in a Chrome tab right now, which is kind of weird. I really want to know what the price of ARM-H is right now, if it even exists. Well, if I can't find it, I can't find it. It looks like they may have changed their ticker name or something. Yeah, it looks like something changed. Anyway, so it used to be called ARM-H. Maybe they changed. Maybe they merged. Maybe Apple bought the ARM company. I don't know. But anyway, him and his dad. Oh, okay. Thanks for the update, Hexologist. My video is gone without being in the tab. I hope it's back now. Is the video back now that I'm back in the tab? It's very strange to have a video recorder running in Chrome. That's really weird. That's cool though. I mean, it's cool that it works. I hope the video is back now. I'm just still learning how it works. It's back. Awesome. Thanks for the heads up. But anyway, that guy, he messaged, that same guy, I know he's on Twitter somewhere. I need to tell him to buy HEX because that same guy, we went to college together, and he thanked me years later for him and his dad made a butt ton of money off of that call. I need to go tell him to buy HEX, actually. I'm going to do that today. I have given him so many good calls. I'm gonna tell him to buy HEX. He's also in Cardano now. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. What were we talking about? Okay, yeah. Anyway, Jim Rogers, he thinks that the U.S. government is going to come in and ban crypto. He thinks that it's going to be totally obliterated. That the U.S. government is going to classify it as treason to own crypto. So I think Jim Rogers is a clown. He was telling everybody to buy sugar back in 2016. Sugar has since collapsed. He was telling everybody to buy Russia. Russia has done nothing but go sideways. So I think he's a clown. Is it possible for the U.S. government to actually outlaw? Like, I mean, look, guys, and Litecoin Moses knows more about this than I do. The former like CTO or some advisor from Coinbase is now in the U.S. Treasury Department. There was a hearing today in the U.S. government about stablecoins. There is a very, very well understood narrative that governments want cashless societies. I mean, all of these things together, if they were going to ban crypto, like why have they not done it after 11 years? It's 11 years in, and they've still not banned big crypto. I mean, if they were going to do it, wouldn't they have done it back in 2013 with the Silk Road bust? If they were going to ban it, it would have been back then. I think that we have very much so gone past the point of no return, and banning simply is not in the cards, in my opinion. I'm curious if my audio, when I tabbed out of this tab, did my audio still work, or was it just the video that went out? I'm curious. It'd be interesting if the audio stayed going. EIS says the OA could prolong the AA lobby with an adjusted HEX in the pool. I don't know what this means. Some of these, I really like your comments, but some of them I have a hard time understanding the frame of them and the context. Archie says, don't forget Richard Hart on the lawyers live stream. 2 hardball lawyers grilled him. Tone looked surprised at how well RH defended himself. It was a hard watch, though. I don't think I've seen that one. Ermif says, now you should test having a guest on stream. Yeah, that's a good idea. Who wants to guest? Actually, I'm gonna it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna put out a guest link on Twitter. Let me see if I can figure this thing out. Invite a guest. Oh yeah, this is gonna be funny. I'm gonna just launch this out on Twitter and just see who joins. Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is not gonna end. Well, I don't know. Okay, can I do that? Like, what if I actually get people that start broadcasting really nasty stuff? That's possible. It's possible that if I just give this out to the world on Twitter, that somebody will pop in and something really bad will happen. So, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just comment in this stream. I'll do that. Because if I post it on Twitter, somebody's going to end up coming on and getting my YouTube banned or something, which is going to happen eventually anyway, probably. So I got that thing out. If y'all can even copy it. Like, the thing is, on mobile, I can't even copy and paste in the stream on mobile. I can't even do it. So y'all may not even be able to join with that link. If you want to join, send me a message, and you can't copy and paste from the comments section, then just send me a message on Telegram or something. Maybe nobody will join. That's cool too. It's okay. This is just for fun. Let's get Hexologist on here. That would be cool, man. Let's get Hexo on here. That's my man right there. Let's see if Hexologist can pop in here. My lighting is all screwed up too. Like, this is not a great stream. Oh, I got a guest. Add to, I don't know what I'm doing. Add to stream.
What's up, everybody? Oh, snap. What's up, dude?
What's up? What's up, Hexo? What's going on, man?
Dude? Hold on, let me There we go. I got to turn off the. There we go. I can hear you. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? You got a green screen. This is the first time I haven't seen you with the background.
Oh, you're seeing the behind the scenes interview here.
Behind the scenes, yes, sir. Man,
I don't even got my hair done or nothing, man. I'm all. I put the whole get up on in like 2 minutes. You were like, I got to get somebody on the stream. I was like,
get up quick. Hey, that's the Superman quality. You know, Superman can suit up quick.
That's true. You just gotta. It's like the reverse of Superman. You gotta put the body armor on.
What's your name for tonight's stream? Do you have a name picked out yet?
What do you mean? Like for what the title is going to be?
Yeah, the title. Do you have a title picked out?
I usually come up with it in like 5 minutes before I post it. Usually like, what's happening today? All right, that sounds good.
Are you still doing the thumbnails?
I've kind of taken it a little bit back on it just because it takes me that is like the most time consuming thing about all of it. Because I can, but like with DLive, not promote. Well, they don't really have thumbnails. I mean, they kind of do, but it doesn't. It's not like YouTube where that's where what people see, and that's kind of that's the big thing. What's up, Alan?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Alan?
Hey, listen to me. It's my first stream ever, man.
Yeah.
I just hear something in the background. We got some kind of feedback or a television or something like that.
I think it's just
the stream is still going.
Yeah, it's
how about now?
Yeah, it's better.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Nice.
What's Germany? Up, you from Germany, right, Alan? Is it late there right now? Right on. I'm gonna see if I can.
My first stream ever. I have to set it up a little bit.
Looks good, man.
The camera is a little bit offset here.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So how this is your test stream going?
It got long. I didn't expect it to get this. I mean, it's good though. It's good. I'm still playing with the settings. That's what this is about. This is about testing. I don't know if this is good or not.
But right now it's lagging on my side probably a little bit.
Yeah, that's how mine is too. Like this is outside of my green screen.
Nice background, Hexologist. How did you put that on?
You can if you go to the cam mic settings and then go to green screen, you can put it to like you can literally put it to whatever you want. Like here's
my laptop will probably just pop.
Yeah.
I want to make Hexologist the big one, but I don't know how.
I don't know if I can.
Here we go.
Or I think the person with the controls get to.
Is that real brick?
No, we have the same one. Well, GT, I have a question for you.
What's up?
You're big in pricing and stuff like this, and you know what would be really nice for people to know the price if they would invest like $5 today. How would that involve in like 10 years or so with the share price and stuff? You know?
Well, yeah, and it's not super hard to calculate that if you assume that the price of the coin is going to be constant. But I don't think any of us can even fathom what the price of Hex is going to be in 10 years.
Yeah, you know what I did today? I just left out all the in-content things, you know, everything that I cannot control. If the price would stay like today, it's like 003, okay? And if I would put in like the coins I have right now, I would be really, really happy in like 10 years. So it doesn't even matter for me anymore what the price does. And
exactly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Your video's a little bit laggy.
Oh yeah, it's probably my internet. You know, Germany is really bad with the internet. So anyhow, for me, it doesn't even matter anymore what the price does. So I just relax. You know, I sit back, relax. I'm just making memes every day, and that's all I do. it's crazy. It's like,
dude, that's the best way to pump your bags too. It's totally how you pump your. That's how I started. I started making memes like probably a year before Hex started coming out, and then you just got to keep doing it, man. Like you get better at Photoshop too, because you're actually learning a skill while you're like trying to pump your own bag. So that exactly. That's how I got somewhat decent at Photoshop. Is just like by making memes daily, pretty much daily.
So the whole pandemic situation actually just. I feel pretty lucky with that, man. Yeah. Getting locked in at home and just concentrate on creative stuff, you know, using Photoshop, using Premiere CC and stuff like this, and
Yeah.
it really evolved my skills a lot.
Yeah, y'all are so excellent at that. I saw a couple of memes that she put together, Alan Bittner. Man, those were cool. Like
Yeah.
I had one, and I love revolvers. I love that picture that she made where I had a revolver. I love revolvers, man.
I just got a new one done. It's with you, GT.
Oh, was it?
You will see it after the stream. It just got done, and then I came onto the stream.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go check it out. Is it on Twitter?
Not yet. I haven't posted it yet.
I wish I could give Hexologist the stream because he knows how to work everything.
Probably get you banned by showing my face.
That's all right. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. That's fine.
That's true.
I'm gonna see if I have to pay for this though, Hexo.
I think this one's the free one, and there is a limit though. It's up to 20 hours per month for the free stuff.
Oh man, I'm gonna nuke that. Okay.
So yeah. I was like, that's like 4 streams for good texture.
Do you know what it costs?
It's like $20 a month for the like unlimited. I think
that's okay.
That's not terrible.
No,
That's not terrible.
Not terrible.
I'm only paying.
They must have changed it because like when we did our 24-hour stream, this is what I did. This is what we used. And I used it, and now they're only letting you record it up to 4. Oh no, never mind. Maybe I don't know how it works. Never mind. I think they updated it, but now you can do up to 10 people on screen, so you can get 10 people on here.
Oh really? It's not limited to 6?
I think the free is 6, and like the unlimited or the $20 plan is 10 people now. So I think they just changed that. But that 10 people is so many. If you really think about it, having that many people on screen, it's like the Tone Bay's happening party where they had like 60 people on there. It's like, I don't understand who's talking.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. They take HEX as a payment. No, I don't think they do.
So my video like totally froze. I don't know if you can see me or hear me anymore.
No,
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, everything is just frozen for me. I can't do anything anymore.
Oh. There you go.
Ow. That's it. Somebody made the comment. I'm looking through the comments. Somebody said this test stream is going to get the most views so far.
It's true.
That might be true, man. What do you think about this? What do you think about this pump action that we got going on today?
Oh, I love it. I think the bottom is in, my friend. I think it's in.
Really? You think it's in?
Yeah. I think that with all of your FOMO talk for July, everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm getting in before July." So I don't know. Yeah, there's not a lot of volume behind it right now, but all the volume that you see that is like big, it's like pretty. It's just buys. It looks like
it's all buys and no sells, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't. You're the master. You're the master of that stuff. What do you think about it?
I think it's really, really interesting that we just obliterated the 100 EMA.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
For the daily?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, the daily EMA is just
walked right through it, huh?
Yeah, it's just been smashed. And I think that's really promising.
The MACD as well, it's crossing over. That was one that I was always looking at.
That one seems a little like maybe it has a little more of a possibility of faking us out. Maybe.
Yeah. But, that's true. Yeah, I want to get out of that triangle that that you always have up on your, where you have the what is it, the ascending triangle?
Oh, that big one.
Yeah, the big one from coming all the way from the top. That coming down from like busting out of that is really what I would like to see before I get super duper bullish. But,
that's true. That's okay. So I'm looking at that right now, and that triangle gets busted at around 33, really.
Oh, really? 33?
Yeah, because we've moved forward in time. So back a few days ago, that triangle would have been at 34, but today it looks like it's at about actually 33 even.
Oh, well. We all know what happens at 33, guys.
Yeah, we know what happens at 33.
Yeah, we know what happens at 33. Huh? Yeah, I didn't know that it was at 33, but yeah, it does look like I'm looking at it right now. So yeah, man, can't wait, can't wait. What have you been doing all day? You've been sweating it up in your sauna. Did you
Sweat
build
it out.
that, dude? Did you build that? Oh, your house that you live in?
Everything. Yeah, I built this place. Yep.
Nice, dude. It's
Yeah, I
awesome.
built it, and I lived my first time in it was in winter of 2017, and I was so ready to get out here that I started living in it before the roof was even done.
Oh my gosh. Is that what you were saying? Like you said it was like really really loud, right? The
Oh
because
yeah, the
because
rain was
the rain.
incredibly loud. It was
Yeah,
deafening. Host.
really.
It was like being in the most maddening hailstorm ever. That's how it was.
Was it just like a tinfoil roof or not tinfoil, but a tinfoil why do I keep saying tinfoil? But a tin roof?
Yeah, it's a
That
tin roof. Yep,
Yeah, they're pretty loud.
super loud.
That dude, that's such an awesome like you put jeans in the or denim, right? For your dude, that's such a good idea. I've never even thought about that.
Yeah, so Home Depot actually sells, you can order it online. Home Depot sells it's actually recycled blue jeans. So they take the blue jeans and they like run them through a grinder and turn
Yeah,
them into this kind of foamy looking stuff. And it's just big slats of cotton
really.
really.
I didn't even
hmm
know that they did that. That's pretty awesome. Home Depot
When
does
I
that, huh?
Home Depot, yeah, they sell now. It's expensive. It's probably two or three, maybe even four times as expensive as the pink stuff.
Yeah,
Um, and I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I think it was 2 years ago that I insulated the roof. But when I got into the actual roof and was laying the insulation, I ended up laying it 2 layers thick because I wanted to mainly soundproof the
yeah.
rain and everything. And I'll tell you, that is the hottest I've been in this place. It probably, I don't know if it was 130, maybe 140 degrees
Oh
up
my
there.
gosh.
Man, that was hot.
Dude, that sucks. That's the worst too. When it gets that hot, like I've
Yeah.
been at 120 degrees. It is not like it's not that fun. Like 100 degrees is one thing, but then you got 20 degrees more on that, and it's just like
Mhm.
that's where it gets spicy.
Have you ever been in a tank?
Yes.
Have you ever
I
been in?
never like I've never driven or not while I was driving. Like I gotta like we gotta get in one and stuff like that and check it out, but I've never been in one. I mean, while I was driving, like not like while it
Oh,
was
okay, okay.
operational, like driving around, like looking around. No, I've never. I was on lots of Humvees. I carried around like my machine gun in Iraq and everything. It was pretty crazy. The
Do they have
240.
do they have air conditioners in those Hummers? Humvees?
Uh, no, no,
No.
not the ones that I was in. I don't know, dude. The Marines get like the worst of the worst. Like we had stuff that like didn't even have armor on the sides of it, like no armor, nothing. It was just like a piece of like a piece of cardboard. Sometimes like that's how thick the door was. It was nothing. There was like a we get like the worst of the worst. Like nothing. We get like 1990 stuff. It's really bad.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. It's pretty
So
scary.
in Iraq, being in an unair conditioned Humvee with all that equipment on, was it pretty hot?
Oh, dude. So this is the worst part about it. So you like I had to do like we had like posts that we had to watch every day, and my post was from 4 in the morning till 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and
Yeah.
the 4 o'clock in the morning in the desert is like 40 degrees, and so you're like really cold, so you put on something, and then you have to put your flak jacket on, which is your body armor and stuff, and
Yeah.
then at 9 o'clock in the morning, it starts to get to 100 degrees, but you can't take off your body armor. So you have to you have to either sit out there and freeze for like 4 or 5 hours and then get in some blazing hot, or you have to like you have to just put on your sweater and then put on your flak jacket and then be like in 110-degree weather with a sweater on. So you you
Oh
have to
man.
choose between which way you want to be that day. You want to be freezing cold, but you want to be it's pretty
Can you
funny.
put your sweater on over your flak jacket?
No. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry. Hold on.
Oh, you're good.
Yes. No, you can't do that. You can't do
Oh man, that's
that.
rough.
Yeah. Hold on. Just give me one
I'm
second.
gonna, I'm gonna check the comments real quick. I've been ignoring the comments. Tanks are targets. Better off on foot, says SW Carp.
Yeah, unless there's snipers. Yeah.
Oh, y'all had what were they? Did they have Dragonovs out there or
Yeah,
something?
Dragonovs. Yeah, I got shot at all the time, dude. All the
Are
time
you
by Dragonovs.
serious? With
Oh yeah,
Dragonovs? You got
yeah.
shot at?
Oh, all the time, every day. It was like sing, and they sound like somebody's just clapping their hands right next to you. That's why people were like, when they donate me those bit torrents or something, it makes a really loud noise, and I'm like, oh jeez, because loud noises, man, they'd always like just get me. They get me all the time. Fireworks and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. So you
Yeah.
so okay, so were they not good shots? I mean, because we know that they didn't succeed.
No, yeah, they weren't. They were very good shots comparatively. I mean, they just didn't have like they didn't have training like like we did. I guess like actual military training. And they didn't know
Okay.
how to like. They probably didn't BZO their rifles and stuff like that. They didn't like go and take them out to like actually see if their sights were actually on to what they should be.
Oh, I see. But
So if
okay,
you're
but they
shooting
were
somebody from 100 yards away or 600 yards away and you're off by this much, then you're not gonna even on your target, you're not gonna be able to hit it every time.
wow. So this talk right here that we're having to me is absolutely fascinating. But but I know that some people in your position sometimes might not necessarily want to talk about this kind of stuff that
Oh,
much.
no, we're good, I'm good.
Okay. So if it ever gets to that point where like,
No.
we don't have to talk about this kind of stuff,
No, no, I'm not I'll talk about it, man. I'll talk about whatever.
Okay.
It was like, I don't know, man. It was fun. It was like it was like what I trained to do, but it was also like it's not like fun in that. There were certain things that were really bad about it, but there was there was like it was crazy. It was a crazy time of my life. I wouldn't do it ever again. Trust me. Like that
Yeah.
was, I fell for the stupidness.
Yeah.
I realized that it wasn't like what we were there for. We weren't finding weapons of mass destruction or anything like that. We were just, you know what I mean? Like that's why I went. I was like, oh, they took down our World Trade Centers. Okay, it's over. It's all over now. You know what I mean? But now it's like, oh, they tricked me. They tricked me into that.
Wait, so did you realize that while you were in Iraq?
No, no, no. Like while you're there, man. I mean, it's like while I was there, I was in 2006, so it was like really bad. Like I was in one of the worst places in the entire. Like I was in Ramadi. I don't know if you guys know what Ramadi is, but it's like pretty close to Fallujah. It was a pretty crazy place. Pretty crazy
Wow.
place. Yeah.
So when did you come to the realization that you thought that the weapons of mass destruction thing was just kind of a hoax?
Probably like 2010, 2011.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
it was after I even got out of the Marines because
Okay.
yeah, I mean they do a good job of like what's it called? I wouldn't call it brainwashing, but it's brainwashing. I mean, you have to train your people to literally kill other human beings, and it's pretty hard to do if you really think about it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to train another person to do that. So
Wow.
yeah. Yeah.
So
So I was
Dragonovs,
in
man.
like at the craziest craziest
Well, so when these Dragonov, and again, this is to me, this is
Oh,
absolutely
go
fascinating.
ahead. Yeah.
When these guys are sitting 100 yards away or however far they are, popping off Dragonov rounds at you, did man, I shouldn't even ask that. I'm guessing you knew somebody that eventually got
Oh
wounded
yeah.
from it.
Yeah, I had lots of friends that died
Man.
over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I mean it's rough, dude. It's rough. But I mean everybody over there, we all knew that we'd probably, we'd all get messed up somehow. And the guys that didn't, like I actually know more people that have like taken their own lives after getting out of the military than I knew that were in there. Just because it's a little bit crazier coming back, I think. You know what I mean?
So guys that experienced what you experienced after they got back, they couldn't really handle the world anymore.
No, yeah. Yeah. I mean, once you get lied to like that and you realize like, oh my gosh, like I had to do what I had to do just for this fake reason. I think I think it's pretty taxing on a lot of people, including myself. I mean, it is, you go over there for let's just say it's a fake war. You know what I mean? You go over there to
Yeah.
fight somebody else's war for money. and then you're like, oh, thanks a lot. And then things that you had to do and stuff like that. It's disturbing, I guess.
Wow, man.
Well, yeah.
That is something else. This is, I've known guys. I've known guys personally that went over to, Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff like that. But this is actually, even among people that I knew in person, this is probably the most in depth I've ever gone talking to somebody about it. Because most of the people that I know, they just don't
want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that don't want to talk about it. I mean, and to each their own. I think that everybody should be able to, like there is some crazy stuff, but I would say 97% of people that said that they actually saw stuff don't ever see anything, because you don't really actually see a lot of it more. But I guess I didn't think I could like. Oh, thanks, man.
That's good, man.
But yeah, there's a lot of people that don't actually ever see any combat. They you know what I mean? Like it's very rare, actually. It's very, very, very rare. Like most people sit on bases a lot of the time. I actually had to go into Iraq and like kick people out of their houses at nighttime and be like, all right, we're staying here.
Wait, and so like you would go and you would go take over their house, kind of like a hotel, like as a hotel for yourself?
Yeah. Not for myself. I mean, with our whole platoon, or like sometimes with our company, we'd be like, what we would do is like start at this start of a city, like there'd be like districts kind of, and we would just like push all the way through, and we'd collect all of their guns. This is why you don't give up your guns, guys. We'd collect all of their guns and be like, they're ours now, they're ours now, they're ours now, and just take them and run them over with tanks, or take what we would do is take the firing pins out of them, so when they came out to shoot at us, they they wouldn't have anything to shoot us with. Yeah, just take the firing pin out of there.
Just have just take the firing pin out of their Kalashnikovs or something.
Yeah, they had a lot of AKs,
Wow.
So yeah, they just take up don't give up your guns.
Don't give up your guns, folks.
I mean, the military, like, it's and so what we would do is start at one end and go all the way to the other, and never give up. And go to the other end of the city, and like it would take us 3 or 4 days, and while we'd go through every single one of their houses. Never give up. Never give up your firing pins. But we would go through their houses, make sure they didn't have any weapons or anything like that. You'd usually get shot at quite a few times going through their cities, and then during the nighttime we would just be like, all right, this is our house, you need to go find another place to live for the night.
Were they ever like really, I guess, resentful, or would they ever try to fight you or anything like that?
I mean, not to our face, not to our faces. Okay. And trust me, it makes me feel bad. Like, you know what I mean? But it's also like, so a solid steak. I wish, dude. I wish I was that cool. I had like a 4-foot gun. I wish I could be that like nimble. But I was like the biggest dude, because I'm like 6 foot and probably 190 pounds when I was in the Marines. So I was like the biggest Marine there, because all the Marines are pretty small dudes. Like, people don't realize that Marines are usually like 150 to like 175 pounds. And so like I was like actually one of the bigger guys, and I was like 190. And so they were like, well, you can hold this machine gun, you can just carry it. And I was just like, dude, the machine gun, like 240, weighs about 40 pounds. And then 100 rounds of ammo weighs about 8 or 9 pounds, but you'd have to carry like 300 or 400 rounds. So I'm carrying like 70 pounds plus my pack, plus my body armor, so I had about 100 and something pounds on me, walking for like 14 hours a day. It was not a fun trip. And then getting shot at, you're just like, oh geez, had this 4-foot gun. No,
did you is your back okay today from all that?
No, my back is always pretty messed up. My knees are really messed up. So when I was in Japan, because I went to Japan first for my first deployment, and I fell out of a helicopter onto my knees. with all of that pack stuff on, like, because I was in a helicopter company and it's called fast roping, and it's just like a rope that you hold onto. You don't clip onto anything or anything like that. You just hold on to it, and you like fast rope on top of a house, kind of like you see in like a movie, like these movies where you're just like. So I did that with my machine gun, and the machine gun got stuck in the hole. It's called the hell hole. And so when that happens with a regular M16, they're supposed to, the person that's helping people down is supposed to kick it out of the way. And it's, a 7-pound gun is just, it kind of just gets kicked out of the hell hole. Well, a 40-pound gun is a little bit different, where it starts spinning around, and then I started spinning around, and we're up about like 40 feet up above. I fell on my knees and I got pretty messed up.
Wait, you didn't fall from 40 feet though, did you?
Yeah. it was about 30 feet. Yeah.
You just clean, like with no resistance, fell 30 feet?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
With like 40 or 50 pounds on top of me. I couldn't walk for a while. But,
wow. Did it break anything?
No, I couldn't walk, but I think I may have like I had like a lot of bruising, but dude, trying to get anything medical like in the military or in the Marines, I should say, is really hard. They think that you're just trying to like get out of everything, because it's really hard training. It's really hard training, and there are guys that are like, oh, I'm not doing so good, and so they try to get out of like going on hikes or. And so it's like it's real hard to get out of anything. You're like, oh. You can't just be sick. You can't like. There's no way that you can just be like, my stomach's not really feeling good today. I'm not gonna be training today. That doesn't happen. Like there's no way that you could just get out of training like that. You have to be like legit really sick, like dying pretty much. I had broken ribs for like 3 weeks. Because we'd always have fights and stuff like that. Somebody broke my ribs, and they still made me go out and play. It was called combat football. We'd put on our body armor and play football in it. And I was coughing up blood, and I had to I had to legit go and get like a bunch of whatever they are, CAT scans or I can't remember what they are, but yeah, sorry.
Oh my gosh,
crazy times, dude.
So I got a question. So a whole ton of us, for some reason, seem to have military backgrounds that are in HEX.
Yeah.
It's an abnormally large amount of people.
It is weird. It is weird.
So why are so many of us? Why are so many Hexicans with a military background? What is up with that?
I think that it's more of just like it's more of a like. For me, it was seeing a complete project, so I'm going to put my face on it. And I didn't know anybody was in the military. And so maybe something to be like something legit. Like there's been a lot of like scams and stuff like that. And I haven't met anybody else that's in any other coins, but it looks like it doesn't. I don't know, maybe just I don't know. That's how I always look at it, is like it's truthful, I guess, and people like the truthfulness. And I don't know, maybe the military guys like that. I'm not sure. Hexologist after dark edition.
Hexologist after dark. Infiltrating the YouTube.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on the YouTube no matter what, guys. It's just gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I still have my clips channel, so I'm posting there now.
That's true.
Yeah,
I wonder if we've. So
were you ever thinking about going to the military?
Or I wasn't technically in the military, but I contracted with. Nice. Yeah, I was a contractor for years.
Like like you went out like deployed contractor, or like what?
No, just here in the United States, just kind of more on the technology side.
Oh, okay, that's crazy.
Yeah,
what do you know? That's actually even crazier. Were you like part of what's that group? The Black? What was it called? Black. Oh man, I can't remember the group's name. The private contractors. I won't ask you what private contracting company.
Well, this is what I'll say, and this always gets people's imagination going for some reason. But
Blackwater.
I was.
Sorry.
Y'all heard about the whole Edward Snowden thing?
Yeah.
So I was in extremely close proximity to that when it happened.
Oh wow.
So,
All right.
so
Well, that's
yeah.
pretty crazy. So yeah, I knew it. I knew it. If you're contracting for the military for intelligence or technology, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So there's a lot of, I wasn't there, I wasn't in, I was just in proximity to it.
Right. Well, that's pretty
And when,
crazy stuff too.
yeah, when Bradley, the whole, remember the Bradley Manning thing?
Yeah.
All that was happening at the same time. The Bradley Manning thing, the Snowden thing, all that was uh, going on simultaneously.
When
So
did that all happen? Because I
that was,
thought that was it like
I think,
2009, 2010?
no, it was, I think 2013, it was between 2013 and 2015 in that area somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened to that guy, Bradley Manning?
I know that he kind of lost his mind.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you start going against the CIA. I shouldn't even say it. That's what happens when you go against the Central Intelligence Agency. I wouldn't want to mess with those guys. I wouldn't want to like go against those guys if you were with them and then you're going against them. It's like yikes. You get put in jail, then you get come out as a girl. Wonder what happened there.
Yeah, maybe they MK Ultra'd him into being.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I mean. That's what I was thinking. Like, well, they probably strapped him to a chair and freaking made it, held his eyes open to watch some crazy stuff or something. I don't know.
I never thought about that until right now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's why I wouldn't want to mess with the I don't know. But
I'm surprised that the whole Snowden thing is still that they didn't do. I guess they never got to him. They never got him somehow.
Yeah. Which
is amazing.
I don't know. It is weird. It's almost like I think that it's just a play. Everything's just a play. It's all just a everything on the news and everything. It's just like it's like a big movie for everybody to watch and keep your attention, so you don't find your real self. That's my.
That's a good point. That seems. I'm sitting here running through my head trying to think of something to say, and then I'm like, nope. 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 I'm like, nope. So
yeah, man. Let's see. This is like watching a movie.
He snorted space
dust.
dust.
Yeah, he probably did. Probably had to do something.
I got a DM that you two should be out there podcasting. Y'all are very good together.
That'd be
cool. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're doing right now. We're doing it right now. We're probably getting a lot more views on a YouTube than on a podcast. I would think. I've missed.
That's true. I don't like podcast too much. Some Metal Gear Solid. Jeez.
We know more than y'all could ever imagine.
Yeah. Used to be one of the best games. Free Assange. What do you think about Assange? What do you think that's going to happen with him?
I don't know. Like, I don't even know if he's. I mean, like, I don't know. Something tells me that the whole thing is maybe a psyop. I don't know. I mean, like, if you've ever looked through the WikiLeaks stuff, I guess it's interesting, but I don't know. It just I'm skeptical of it to a degree, and maybe that's unfounded skepticism. Or what do you think about it?
Well, I think that I think that people look at war and they don't realize it's war anymore. They think that you should be just like you can, like one of their big things is like murdering multiple people when you're trying to strike a target or something like that, which is I understand, but it's like we're in war. That's what happens when you don't have this is why you should defend yourself. This is what happens when you can't defend yourself, is you get murdered by the opposing force. It's happened for many years. Every war has been like that, and they're trying to be like, well, you murdered this, you were looking for this target, but then you killed all these other people, and it's like, that's war. I don't know what you want me to say, but that's what happens. Like, you can't videotape something and be like, you shouldn't be doing this, because once you put a restraints on your on your military fighters, then you're screwed, because you're gonna, like, they have the what's it called, the Geneva, what, like the code, the Geneva
the Geneva Convention.
yeah, but they have, like, you can't do certain things, like you're with a 50 cal machine gun, like you weren't allowed to shoot a human being with it.
Oh, really?
I was on. Yes, you're not allowed to actually shoot somebody with it. But if they're wearing armor, then that's fine. So all you'd have to say is, "Oh, they were wearing an armor," or "I was shooting at his gun," or something. So there's loopholes into everything. So it's like, why even put restraints on people when you can just, like, I mean, there is certain things where it's like, okay, yeah, don't nuke everybody. That's obviously, or don't drop bombs on. But like when you're doing it to like people that are out there, like it's same. I mean, police are different because they're domestic, but it's really hard for, like, I don't know. It's crazy.
I think that was one of the first times that I saw somebody actually get hit with a 50 was in those videos that was released by Bradley or Chelsea Manning from
Oh, it's messed up.
It's gruesome. I can see why they don't allow it, because that's unbelievable, especially when they're coming out of the helicopters and stuff.
Oh, dude, I had on some of the, because I was just a machine gunner, so I could either be on my 240 or I could go on a Humvee with 50 cal, or I don't know if you know what a Mark 19 is. Dude, Mark 19s are sick. Mark 19, it's an automatic grenade launcher. You just yeah, dude, it just goes and it just like shoots these grenades out, and it's this huge thing, man. It's like, it's crazy, and it shoots out 40 millimeter grenades like a machine gun. It's a machine gun grenade launcher, and it's just, you can take down a whole building within seconds. You can just level the whole thing.
How much ammo in one of those do you have before you run dry?
Oh, I can't remember how big. I mean, they're huge, but I think it's probably 50 or something like that. I mean, you don't want to hold it down, but I mean, you could. You could, if that's just a box of it, you could have a couple of boxes strung together if you wanted to. But you're usually on a Humvee. Well, you always are on a Humvee or on a tripod, but nobody uses the tripod since like World War II.
So, when, let's say that you were manning the 50 cal on top of the Humvee, do you have any kind of restrictions or mandates on how much ammo you're allowed to use?
No, I didn't. I was there in like the wild west. Like, it was crazy. It was a crazy time. Like, it was crazy. We had anti-tank rounds in the 50 cal. Like they had tungsten. I think it was tungsten tungsten tips that would go into a tank, pierce through the tank armor, and get into the tank. Like, it was on a machine gun. It was crazy.
Okay. So if you want to just go to town with one of those things and just boom, 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 you can do it.
Oh yeah. There's nobody.
And you would.
I mean, you might get in trouble. I mean, you might get in trouble. But, yeah. Probably get in trouble if you started just leveling everything.
Okay, here's something that I've been wanting to ask, actually. When you Marines were over there, do y'all wear earplugs when you're firing these guns?
No.
What? No.
But when you come back and you're like, yeah, my hearing's messed up, they're like, were you wearing earplugs at the time? Like, how are you supposed to like get any information from other people when you have earplugs in your ears? Like, you got to hear from like your friend coming up behind you, or if there's an enemy trying to come up and ambush you on the right side or left side, or it's crazy. Like, you can't just, and you don't know when you're going to be able to do it, because like we'll be just patrolling through the streets, and we get a sniper rifle or a sniper shot that goes right past your face, and you got to be like talking to everybody, hey, we got to over here 9 o'clock or whatever. So you gotta like consolidate and make sure that everybody's okay, and you have to figure out a place. There's no time to just put your plugs in. Like, it's kind of like just waking up in the morning and just walking out to your door, like and getting shot at, and you have your gun on you, and you don't. Oh yeah. There's no time to actually like think about putting your. Hold on, I gotta put my earplugs in.
Stop shooting.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm gonna have to put my earplugs on.
Just give me just a minute. Oh man. Do you know any guys that even had earplugs like in their
No,
pocket?
not when we went to Iraq. No, there was nobody that had earplugs. That would have been really like I would have beat this. I would have if anybody was below me wearing earplugs, I would have slapped him in the back of the head and been like, "No, you're not wearing earplugs, bro." Yeah, because I mean they can't hear me if I'm giving them orders to do something. You know, it's like, hey, I got to get you to go over there. What? I couldn't hear you. My earplugs are in. It's like, no, take your damn earplugs out and move. Yeah, it'd be too crazy. Too crazy.
Well, I've been wanting to ask you that for a while, so I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, we get like they'll do hearing tests on us and stuff, and they'll be like, "Did you wear any earplugs?" I'm like, "No, I couldn't wear earplugs." Did I mention my rank? I was an E4, so I was a corporal. I was only a lance corporal though. Like when I got out, so I got promoted to corporal. I didn't get up very high. In the Marines and especially the infantry, it's really hard to pick up rank because you actually are out there and like you're to pick up rank, you actually have to go and do things. Like there's like tests you have to take and like booklets and stuff like this. And so we had no time to do that, you know. So it's not based on your experience. I don't know. You would think that it would be like, oh wow, you went to war and stuff, but you get back from war and you get some sergeant that's never been to war and he's over you and he's telling you what to do. And you're just like, dude, come on, I've been there, man. I've been there. How are you gonna tell me what to do? Like, so it is a little bit complicated sometimes.
I don't know if some of these questions, I don't know if they're appropriate.
Yeah. Let's see. Hexy is a stick. That's a good one. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It was crazy time in my life. Glad it's passed me.
Glad it's passed, and now
I'm glad that I'm there. I went there. I'm glad that I experienced it because there's a lot of people that I hear that like have done stuff, and they're like, man, I wish I had some of the crazy experiences like you, which is true. Like, I'm glad I got to experience that stuff, but it's also like, it's taxing on the soul, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very taxing on the soul. But I came out good. Gotta have good
glad you're able to experience it and still be here today is the main thing.
Yes. Main thing. Very true. Very true.
Right on.
Well, cool, man. Probably well, thanks for having me on. It was a great experience talking to you too. Good, well, dude, we should do this more often. Whenever you want, dude. Whenever you want, just hit me up.
I appreciate you. You got to get your stream set up now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go do. I gotta go set up the old stream. Go read some articles before we start.
Gotcha. We'll be shutting this thing down here in just a minute after you go.
Okay.
And we'll be joining you over there.
All right, man. Take care.
Well, Hexo, thanks for coming on, my man. Yes, sir. Anytime.
The test was a success. All right. See you, man.
I'll see you soon. Well, I guess I'm alone now. Oh, boy, that was a lot of fun. I'll tell you, that was a lot of fun. Had a lot of questions to ask him. That was cool. I still don't. I know a little bit more about how StreamYard works. I'm not very good at StreamYard, but SW Carp says no, you're not good at StreamYard. That is true. I don't know how many miles behind the comments I am. Unhexable says killer stream. All your streams are a lot of fun. I'm glad you enjoy it. I don't know where I am in the comments. The audience got well tested, says Steph Staker. Man, this is deep. Take a break and regroup before your stream. Okay, the test was a success. Okay. Story. Exo could take you out. No one will ever know it was him. I may go ahead and shut this thing down here in just a minute, just because we got Hexo coming on live. I'm scrolling comments right now. I think we had like almost 100 people in here. That was That was the most I think this has ever had. America is rich, has limitless ammo. Hey, that's cool. I just realized I could click these things. I should be doing that more. Didn't they just claim? Okay. South Park, it's coming right for us. Yeah, I mean, anything that drops 90% in 10 minutes is going to be a scam for the most part. 50 cal was fun. Used to chop trees down with them. Yeah, no hollow points, yet the domestic police use hollow points. I guess the domestic police aren't trying to kill people, though. Well, some of them. I don't know what he uses, Parveen. He's got a good mic, though, doesn't he? He sure does. I have his conspiracy that Assange has Satoshi's keys. Yeah, definitely naturally skeptical. There's always a plan within a plan, it seems like. I hope Hexo and Good Texture realize that us regular citizens, the closest thing we've done combat is through a movie. So we are curious. Yeah, I'm curious. I've never been in combat. I've been around military people, certainly, but I've never been shot at. Probably, hopefully never will be, but I don't know the way things are going in America. It's very hard to say. Steph Staker says, my 2 cents on why Hex would attract military people. When you're willing to give your life away for higher purpose, it's the ultimate delayed gratification. Hex probably fuses that kind of long-term investment mindset with the crypto risk. That's really interesting. So military people have more of a long-minded or a long-term mindset, which is very, very synergistic with crypto. That's really interesting. That's a really interesting idea. GT has been enlightened. This is like watching a movie. That was really interesting what Hexo said about, what did the feds do to Bradley Manning while he was in prison to turn him into a wow, man, I'm just thinking about that though. He actually, to my knowledge, got the surgery. Oh, this is so terrifying. I think he actually got the sex change surgery where they lop your parts. He got that done while he was in prison. Is that terrifying? Like, what if he was actually just mind controlled into believing that he wanted to be a girl? Because after he's gotten out of prison and he was on his own, he was going through, or she was going through all types of suicide type thing, episodes. Like he was suicidal. Oh man, can you imagine getting that type of sex change done and then becoming suicidal because maybe you didn't actually want it? Ooh, this is just makes me shudder thinking about it. Man, oof. Never thought about this. Metal Gear Solid. Oh, I'm out of comments. Okay, so I'm gonna go back down to the bottom. Successful stream. Legend chat. Killer stream. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I can show you how to simultaneously broadcast to DLive and on StreamYard. Yeah, I might do that. But maybe. I might do that. I don't know. You got him to talk about his service. Surprised. I don't think it's surprising that he talked about his service. I think it's just that nobody's ever really asked him. I think that this conversation is really the first time anybody has really asked him. He seems very open to talking about it and has a lot to share, a lot of valuable information to share for sure. SW Carp says, soldiers usually only talk like that with other soldiers. I never signed the dotted line, but I certainly served the country, that's for sure. Love the live streams. What's up, Ash? How you doing? Steph says his mic is the Blue Yeti. Oh, okay. So Parveen, Hexologist has a Blue Yeti microphone. Blue Yeti. Solid mic. Uh-oh. Where did my stuff go? Okay. Wow, Hexo, you were a soldier. Yeah, he was a soldier. 100%. Good night, Metallic Elmo. Good to see you. I'm glad you stopped by. Crypto Goose, if a GT tree falls in the forest, does it hit an HXY fanboy? No, they've already gotten wrecked, y'all. The candle already wrecked them. They're done for. There's no more left to. They've already been hit. Why does this thing keep skipping around? Okay. Yeah, MK Ultra, man, that is some scary stuff. Whew. My girlfriend didn't know about MK Ultra at all, and I educated her about it. And I told there's a lot of theories that the Unabomber was MK Ultra. So I don't know if y'all know, but the Unabomber, he went to Harvard, and when he was like 16 to 18 years old, he took part in studies like once a week. I think they did things like they humiliated him and do all kind of weird stuff to him at Harvard. And a lot of people are, and this isn't even a conspiracy theory, it's like pretty well accepted that he was MK Ultra. He was a part of the MK Ultra program while he was in Harvard, and it's part of what caused him to go off and kill all those people. So powerful stuff. And people don't, it's supposedly the program ended, but you see things like, man, I hate even talking about this stuff. You see stuff like what happened to Bradley Manning, where he all of a sudden, I want to do research now. I want to go back and see if before he released those videos, if he was already leaning towards getting a sex change, or if that only happened after he got captured by the government and was in prison. Ash said, oh, here we go. Ash says, I have to sync a lot. What? Oh, he's going to try to sync a bunch of old blockchains and so that he can dump his older alt bags so that he can buy a little bit more HEX. It's not a bad idea, especially if you think those old bags aren't going to do anything. I don't know if this is a fact. Bradley may not. I don't know that for a fact. It's just a theory. Alan Bittner says the newest meme is out. Enjoy. I'm going to go check Twitter and check it out. Parveen says, thank you, everyone. Parveen thanks you. Just looked quite a SW Carp says there were quite a few penalty in-stake bonuses added. Yeah, that's scary. The famous psychology experiments. Yeah, I've actually read his manifesto from front to back, and a lot of it's not wrong. I mean, let's be honest. He talks about the role that industrial society is playing in breaking down what it really means to be human. I mean, he's not actually wrong in a lot of ways. A lot of what he says is spot on. He says, I know one thing in his book that he says it will likely one day probably become illegal to have children naturally that are not genetically engineered. Yeah, just because he was MK Ultra, he's still smart. He says that it will become illegal and a moral hazard or a morally wrong thing to not genetically engineer your children because they will be they won't be able to compete in the real world anymore. And imagine if governments become responsible for maintaining the laws that say that you have to genetically engineer all new children. That's a possibility. And that's what he talks about in his manifesto. It's an interesting book, and he says in his it goes into why he killed people and stuff like that. I don't think that was a good idea, but he goes pretty deep into it. ID says it doesn't make any sense. You've got greater things on your mind if you're being imprisoned. No, who knows? I don't know what. Starcode. Here we go. Starcode says Hex sellers look exhausted. Yeah, I agree. There just doesn't appear to be a whole lot of them left. AJ Create says read the book Chaos with Tom O'Neill. GT says have you read Crypto Crypto Goose says, GT, have you read Terrence McKenna? Any thoughts on him? I really like, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos about him. I'm not an expert. I just know he's the guy that talks about the machine elves whenever people take dimethylamine tryptamine, DMT. So it's interesting. Machine elves. It's an interesting concept. I've read you can send letters to him in jail and he can reply to you. Yeah, I think he's still got his group. You know, they talk about what they are is they're extreme environmentalists. I don't know if y'all remember, but on a stream the other day, I was talking about how there's these extremist environmentalists that say that if they had unlimited money, they would go around and like blow up dams and stuff like that, hydroelectric dams. They would just blow them all up. That's the type of people that are doing it. Is the type of people that send the Unabomber letters. They're ecological extremists, and you know, they've got their reasons. They're violent about it. I don't know if it's good to be. I don't think it's a good idea to be killing people. Not good. Unhexable says, why do people keep talking about machine elves with me? I don't know. I guess people think that I'm like a really heavy psychedelics user for some reason. I don't know. I'm not. I'm like a super straight edge health person. Like I don't even drink coffee. Like I don't drink coffee. I don't the hardest drug that I've taken in the last, I'd say, year, the hardest drug is I drank some champagne this year. I drank some champagne. I ate some ice cream. Yeah, Ben and Jerry's ice cream. That is a drug. And today I actually took some vitamin C. So that's the extent of my drugs. That's the hardest drugs I've done this year. So, yeah, people think that I am constantly dancing with the machine elves for some reason, but I'm a very straight edge individual. I know about the machine elves. I just don't. I don't partake because there's all these people out there that they go and take a trip to see the machine elves, and the machine elves never go away. They're permanently a part of their life, and they walk around life for the rest of their years, and they're constantly seeing machine elves everywhere. I mean, that kind of stuff happens. That's terrifying. Far Out Aliens says, I never saw the machine elves, but I did see a giant praying mantis. Yeah, I've heard that people will also see centipedes, like giant centipedes and stuff like that. It's really interesting to read about. I used to research that stuff more 10 years ago. I would read about it, but I haven't read a lot these days. Walter says, the more I watch streams by the Hex community, the more I'm convinced I did the right choice. All around knowledge. Yeah. A lot of really, really well-rounded individuals in the Hex community and people that have experience in a lot of crypto coins. A lot of us, myself included, this is not our first toe dip into the crypto coin world. This is, we've been through a whole lot of them. And I'm for certain. Certainly myself, this is not my first rodeo. This has been a long type thing, long-term thing. Hex Groiper says, convince those machine elves to invest in Hex. I don't know, maybe the machine elves are actually the people that are telling me these price action predictions. Maybe it was the machine elves that came and told me 1 cent in July. You never know. ID said DMT is a satanic psyop for sure. Dimethyltryptamine actually exists naturally in your body. People throw around the word satanic a lot without really understanding what Satanism is. People think that Satanism is going into the woods with a couple of torches and a black hood and chanting and worshiping and summoning demons and Satan and things like that. That's not what Satanism is. Not really. People believe that for some reason. But if you are curious in what Satanism actually is, and I'm not a proponent of it, I simply know what it is and I'm familiar with it. Anton LaVey, he was the founder of the Church of Satan. He's written books. They're interesting. I've read some of them. I've read some of his books on Satanism. they're interesting because it's nice to know that there are people that think that way. I personally don't see merit in their beliefs. I think a lot of them are very bad. Some of their beliefs make sense, some of them, but the vast majority are relatively amoral or immoral. Sorry. DMT bucket list. Unhexable says, have the machine. What are we talking about, guys? Have the machine elves ever said anything about hex? God, what? Star code hex equals logical, open-minded, skeptical, supportive, and generous people. That seems to be the truth. Look, I understand Satanism, LaVey, but there are various kinds of Satanists. Okay, this guy's getting emotional. People also confuse Luciferianism with Satanism. Okay. Maxine Honda says that stuff is weird. Once you try it, you'll randomly smell it throughout your life. It's like an entity. What are you talking about, DMT? Parveen says you should take your buddy Hexo to take an ice bath and clear any PTSD he might still be holding on to. Yeah, I think and that may be something he might be into, but he seems pretty chill about it. Like, a lot of the guys that I know that have problems are the guys that can't talk about it. And he seems to be able to, he seems like he's functioning, but I think ice baths are probably good for everybody. I've never done it. I don't, it's probably not that comfortable, but people like Parveen have done it and gotten a lot of good results. Oh, goodness. ID says many people have been meeting not just elves, but literal demons on DMT. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. There is probably a whole lot going on beyond this physical plane that we don't really understand all that well. It seems very possible. I'm going to take a look at the hex chart because that's what I'm focusing on right now, because we got a hexo coming on here in a minute. Let's see, current price 00312 on the hex chart. Also, Hexologist was talking about this triangle earlier. I'm on this other screen. I wish I could share my screen with y'all. There may be a way for me to do it. There may be a way for me to figure out how to do it. And if I can, it would be really, really beneficial to do that in the future. What am I doing? I'm redrawing a triangle over here. Yeah, it looks like we're in kind of a gray zone right now. And with regard to the Hex USD pricing, looks like we're in a type of descending triangle. And I'll tell you what, if you know anything about descending triangles, you know that when they break, they go, and they go hard. And we may be borderline getting ready to break out of this descending triangle. Maybe I called it ascending. It's a descending triangle. Look, guys, if we break above 0033 even with gusto. Steph said little dump, D-U-M-P, dump, little dump incoming. Yeah, that would. So, Steph, do you think that we're going to get up to about 33 and then dump a little bit for another little bit of sideways action? That's what I see coming, but I'm curious what you think, Steph. ID says LaVey is a puppet dressing up in 60s rock and roll. Yeah, he's something. Starcode says audio is absolutely fine today. Maybe today is the best audio I've ever had. That's great. Thanks for the feedback, Starcode. I appreciate it. Okay. Little dump incoming. AJ Crate says July is your month. Exciting times. Yes, folks. Penny in July. Penny in July. I've been saying it for a while. I can't wait to go back and check for the very first time I ever said it, and then retweet it and be like, told you so. I hope we see it. I hope we see it. Is it possible to be wrong? Yes, possible with all predictions, but I think we're going to see the second leg of this bull market is going to begin in July. And what does that mean? That means that the price of the asset is going to go from a current price of 0.0033 to 0.01. That is a 3x gain on your money. So if you have $1,000, my claim is if you have $1,000 and you invested in HEX today, that within a month you will probably have $3,000. That's my claim. I believe that. I think we're going to see that this month. Oh, look at that. It's 6:26. I'm guessing that Hexologist is he's getting ready to spin up his stream. I'll load up DLive and this other side. This is just my test stream, y'all. This has been the I just messed my thing up because I opened up DLive. I don't even see Hexologist. I don't think he's even started his stream yet, actually. No, I don't think Hexologist has started his stream yet. Wow, I'm upside down. Okay, cool. We're back. Exciting times. Exciting times, y'all. Starcode says definitely not exiting times, but exciting times. Yeah, that's right. This is not a great time to exit. If you're exiting right now, you are probably selling the bottom. And generally, in finance, you want to buy low, sell high. If you sell now, you're probably selling low. Steph Staker says, I'm getting new signals where we're going much lower. I'll DM you. I don't want to scare people. Nah, I'm not getting those signals. I don't think we're going to be going much lower. I think if we, I would be very, very, very surprised to see us go below 002. But, and we could see a flash crash. Flash crash is not out of the ordinary, but I'm not expecting it to last if it does happen. Doc usually starts 15 prior to AA closing. Okay, so it's 6:30 now. He'll probably get going. 6:28. Hexologist is live. I just got a DLive notification. Crypto Press says price needs to get above 0031 for a reversal. Well, it's above 0031 right now. 100%. FUD time. Yeah, everybody, the price is going to crash. Emergency in-stake everything you have and sell everything so you can pump our stakes up. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Okay, guys. Well, it's been fun, y'all. It's been a lot of fun. Let's go mosey over to listen to whatever music Hexologist is playing, because you know he's got some awesome music over there for us on DLive. You know he does. You know he does. Yeah, you know Hexologist has some fancy music on, so I am going to depart now, and I'm going to post on my Twitter. I'm going to post a link to Hexologist. If you watch me, I'm sure you watch Hexologist. We can get some news there and listen to some fancy 80s era music. All right, bye for now, y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out.